Hi, my name is Talia. Welcome to Talia Nerds Out. Just a couple warnings before we get started. As per usual, mess behind me, not going to change. I have a small room, unfortunately. But this is the most comfortable location to record from. So, apologies, but this is my life back here. Secondary note. My mother and sister are walking around the house saying the rosary out loud, so you might occasionally hear them as they pass my door. Hopefully they aren't too loud, but my sister tends to speak a little bit louder, and I think my mom sometimes matches her tone or her volume, so you might hear them as they pass my door. Okay, now that that's warning is passed, the other things I might be taking the sweater off. All of a sudden I'm a little bit hot. But anyway, I just want to answer a couple questions in the comments section. You might have noticed on my last little snippet video, I can't comment right now until YouTube fixes that for me. So I will try to answer as best I can comments in videos. Okay, first is from Janelle Tufana Books. I absolutely agree with you about Fanny. She is not a doormat. She just, and I think I mentioned this in my video, she's not treated very well, and yet she's just always respectful, always nice, always rises above. Okay, then, yeah, I agree with everything you say about Eleanor as well. Let's see. And I'm very interested. I find it interesting how similar but yet different your rating is of the Jane Austen characters than mine. It will show in my comment section, but Janelle has rated them first Anne Elliot, who was my first one, then Eleanor Dashwood, who was my second one. Now she put Fanny Price in third, where I think I put Catherine Morland, and she put Emma in fourth, which is where I put Fanny. Then she has Catherine Morland in fifth, which is where I think I had Elizabeth Bennet. In sixth, she put Elizabeth Bennet, which is where I put Jane Bennet. In seventh, she put Jane Bennet, which is where I put Emma. And in eighth, she put Marianne Dashwood, which I absolutely 100% agree with. Because I'm not a Marianne Dashwood fan. If you would know if you watched my very long video breaking down my opinions about the Jane Austen heroines. I might do something similar at some point for the male characters. While they are well developed, they are not quite as they're not developed quite in the same depth as the female characters, simply because you are seeing the story from the perspective of whoever your main female character is. And so those tend to be your strongest characters, your best crafted characters, because you are kind of in their head. Okay, so, absolutely agree with that. Now, I do think you make an interesting point, Janelle. You were stating that Elizabeth doesn't really do anything for others in the story. Her focus is completely on her family. Emma, for all her faults, takes part in her community and helps those in need. And I had never thought of that, but you are absolutely right. And part of it is where they are in their ranking. Emma does have a lot of money. She does have a lot of influence. However, the Bennets are from a higher class. They are just, because they are landed gentry, much in the same way that Emma's family are. But Emma's family have maintained their fortune and so are able to be helpful in the society. Elizabeth's family, because her father just assumed that they would have a son, he didn't bother saving in a way that would support the girls. But he also had proved to be not very smart in money matters, regardless, because while they are not abjectly poor, they aren't at the same they're passing the torch. They aren't at the same status as it comes to wealth as the Woodhouses. But otherwise, I do believe that they are in the same social sphere as Lady Catherine de Bourgh would say, because they are both of landed gentry. Neither of their fathers have a title, so they in that way they are equal. It's just a matter of money. However, I do agree that even to her limited capacity, like when you take money into account or whatever, Elizabeth doesn't really think outside of her family. I honestly can't think of a point where she really did anything for anyone who was not one of her sisters or otherwise connected to her in that way. So that is a very excellent point. Elizabeth does tend to be a little bit more self-centered. So, very awesome point. And I'm so glad that you enjoyed that edition of the Silmarillion. Alan Lee is absolutely amazing with the illustrations. I'm very happy I have that edition. Although I think, Lisa, the Silmarillion does not have, my Silmarillion doesn't have Alan Lee's artwork, but I think I showed you my Fall of Gondolin. Not Gondolin. Fall of Numenor. I have the Fall of Gondolin, but my Fall of Numenor, which does have Alan Lee's artwork. So I'm sure you're commenting on that. Although I actually thought, I didn't show the Silmarillion this time, although it is quite lovely. I think you're talking about my previous video when I did show the Silmarillion, and then you're talking about the other Alan Lee illustrations I showed. I lost track of where I was, which video you're talking about. So yeah, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed those books. Wait until you get to see the books, the Hobbit book, when I show that, because I actually like Tolkien's artwork better in The Hobbit than I did his artwork in the Silmarillion. Some of it was a little bit more abstract, not really the style that I enjoy, whereas I actually thought his artwork was pretty awesome in The Hobbit. So I would, yeah, when you get a chance to see that video, hopefully you'll be able to see what I mean, because it was really quite lovely. Editing Talia here. I was going to do my whole thing I recorded all at once. It ended up being over an hour. So I've decided to split the bulk of the comments from the main part. It probably only shortens it by about like 10 minutes, but every little bit counts. So the main bulk of the comments are in this little video here. Then the comment that inspired my idea to record again so soon, it's going to have its own video, which will be long and rambling, and it will be posted after this one. Thank you very much for joining me today. I will see you shortly in the second video for today. God bless. Bye.